So let's have a look at the grid for the X30 Senior Final. It's Sebastian Murry and Lucas Ellingham on the front row. Harry Torpy and Jordan Brown, row 2. Christian Brooks and Archie Forber, row number 3. Luke Taylor and Hugo Gilbert rounding out the top, rounding out row 4. Vishal Patel and Remy Gilbert rounding out the top 10. Paul Simard and Kyan Gohill rounding out the top 12 positions. Row 7, it's Jake Yanagisawa and Benjamin Southgate. Row 8, it's Dylan Gratz and Jensen Buckingham. Alex Johnson and Martin Auger round out row 9. Row 10, it's Tom Ryan with Mackenzie Stevens and Benjamin Watts and Thomas Byrne rounding out the 11-row grid here in the X30 Senior Final. Right, okay, here we go. X30 Senior Final here at Whilton Mill. Lights are out, we are underway into Oblivion and Crook for the first time of asking. Challenge for second place, as it is getting a bit close for comfort. Oh, going through into Christmas Corner. I think Lucas Ellingham was trying to thread the eye of the needle, and I'm not too sure how it's all panning out so far, but as they are making their way through, Ellingham is still in 4th place as they make their way through into Wilkins for the first time, into the left-hander at Osiers before the chicane onto the back straight.
Oh, he's gone for it, Lucas Ellingham, up into 3rd.
And that was past Christian Brooks, I believe.
Ooh, he wasn't happy. He wasn't particularly happy.
No, that was past Harry Torpy, actually. So Christian Brooks, I think, Christian Brooks in 2nd position. Now Lucas Ellingham can challenge for the victory in the final. And look at the train behind.
It's pretty large, isn't it? Yeah, I'm surprised that there were no incidents on that first lap. There was some seriously heavy fighting going on, but all drivers keeping it respectful and all staying on the black stuff, just about. It says that Luke Taylor in last place has managed to do a faster lap than everyone else. I would be amazed if that's true, but I don't know. It says also that he might be ahead of people on track, so I think maybe the timing might have messed up slightly there for the fastest lap. But we'll continue. Look, I think just gone for 2nd place. He has indeed. Lucas Ellingham moves up into 2nd already.
That cheeky little wave I saw from the right hand there. So I'm like, thank you very much. I shall go on through and go forward with forward momentum. But 8 minutes and 27 seconds remain, and Sebastian Murry is leading, but by only just under 3.5 tenths of a second from Lucas Ellingham, who's just set the fastest lap of the race, 45.11 seconds. Christian Brooks, Harry Torpy, Jordan Brown round out the top 5, followed by Vishal Patel in the number 95, Archie Forber. Alex Johnson now up into 8th position and climbing steadily up the order, ahead of Remy Gilbert and Jake Yanagisawa, who complete the top 10 places.
Indeed, Lucas Ellingham doesn't wait around, does he? Last lap, 4 tenths faster than the leader. He's already going to go for it. What a move into the boot. Almost squeezed the 91 of Murray out, causing him to lose another position. Murray just about manages to hold that apex and keep the 2nd place. But that was from so far back, that move for the lead. That was ridiculous. But I wouldn't expect it from anyone else but Lucas Ellingham.
Well, keep your eyes on Murray, because he's not letting Ellingham get away by any stretch of the imagination, as there is a battle for 4th place really heating up behind. I think Brown is now ahead. Yes, that is the case. So Torpy down to 5th position. And now it's become a 7-cart train at the front of the field, rounded out by Archie Forber, who's just set the fastest lap of the race and has gone sub 45 seconds, wow. 44.99.
That's a pretty impressive lap time. So yeah, don't count any of these guys out. Look at the battling that's going on down into the final corner. That was a late move from the 95.
That was Patel on Brown, and Forber actually got past, so did, I think, Forber. Well, Torpy got through as well, so there's been a few changes. I did see that Dylan Gratz actually dropped down the order quite substantially, down to around 19th position, lost 6 places. I think on the opening lap, Lucas Ellingham on cue, bang, fastest lap, 44.8 seconds.
Just ridiculous, the amount of pace. Yeah, a couple of more drivers down into the 44s that lap, but Ellingham just in a world of his own now. Oh, cheeky move that was, up the inside. Number 14, that's Archie Forber making up another spot. I believe that was on Harry Torpy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Up into 4th place goes Forber. But yeah, Ellingham just starting to slowly eke out that lead. Be it Yeah, quite slowly, but it's definitely growing.
He's nearly doubled it, actually, and puts in another fastest lap of the race, 44.67 seconds. Sebastian Murry, exactly 2/10 slower, 44.87. Still a personal best for the number 91, as the leaders make their way through into the right-hander at Inkerman's, down the short chute into the right-hander at Ashby's. So Ellingham trying to pull away enough to be comfortable.
Indeed, yeah, Ellingham and Murray have sort of been going 2/10 a lap quicker than their personal best every lap, but Ellingham has consistently been 2/10 of a lap faster than Murray. So just as you say, slowly but surely eking out that lead, and yeah, doubling it from 0.2 to 0.4, which doesn't seem like too much, but in karting can be quite a bit. They're going to go through again. It's actually dropped at that time from 0.48 to 0.45, only slightly faster that lap, well, 200ths to be exact, from Murray to Ellingham, but all of that top pack all lapping in the 44.7, 44.8, 44.9 kind of range. So all to play for up in those top positions, but now a slight gap eked out between the 82 of Brooks and the 14 of Forber. You can see Forber leading this little gaggle, and still battling between Torpy and Patel going on, and then Brown and Johnston just behind.
Yeah, Brown and Johnston separated by just under a tenth and a half. Patel, track limit warning for Paul Simard in the number 25, as, oh, that was very, very close indeed, because Brown tried to get one back on Johnston. Johnston in the 48 now up into 7th position, 4 minutes and 40 plus an additional lap. Archie Forber sets a personal best with a 44.89 second lap time, but Lucas Ellingham, that gap is still holding at around about 4.5 tenths of a second.
Yeah, he hasn't quite pulled away as I maybe thought he would do. I thought he'd be out in clean air and then absolutely just send it and run away with it. But no, not happening at all. Murray really holding his own. And I think we could see this chill out for the next sort of 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe drivers holding their own, putting in the pace. Then as we start to get down to the last couple of minutes, maybe the moves start to come back out again.
Yeah, Kyan Gohill has just got past Hugo Gilbert for 13th position. So the number 13, the number 45 goes up to 13th place. Tom Ryan still running, as it is getting
fastest lap for Mr. Murray in second place there, 44.62.
And he took nearly a tenth and a half out of Lucas Ellingham on that particular occasion. So it is going to be, I think, very, very close to the wire, because they are starting to pull away. Christian Brooks lost 0.3 of a second on that last lap and is now 1.15 off of Lucas Ellingham, who still continues to lead. We're on to lap number 9 with 3.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap of racing here in the X30 Senior Final.
And Christian Brooks in third, definitely still pushing as well. Another kart in the 44s pretty regularly. Did get a track limits warning last time around though, so needs to watch out for any of those. Doesn't want those to build up, especially when you're just lapping by yourself. But in slight no man's land, got a second to the leaders and then just under 2 seconds back to 4th place. So Brooks just continued to put in the laps kind of on their lonesome really in 3rd place. But here we look back to, there's Forber in 4th and a small gap back to Torpy, Patel, Johnston and Brown finalising that top 8, and then it's a decent gap back to Gilbert and then Simard and then the rest of the field.
Yeah, with 2 3/4 minutes still remaining of the race itself. Remy Gilbert gets a track limit warning.
So did you see Lucas Ellingham's human DRS just then? Did you see that? Little head down.
Every time I work with you again, it's going to be, yeah, human DRS, human DRS. There we go, human DRS again.
So just say it on every straight now.
Don't. You just wear it out like something.
There you go, human DRS, look.
Oh, dearie me. Running gag with John Ratcliffe. Human DRS, everybody, when someone's putting their head down. At least he's not going like this, completely behind the steering wheel, because otherwise then he wouldn't be seeing anything.
Well, it's a Super GT phrase. I have stolen it from him, to be fair. Very much a Super GT phrase. So, yeah, shout out to Steve Brown. Sadly not here this weekend. Was here at the last round, at round 5. Possibly might use it again as another practice, and that just shows why the drivers love Whilton Mill Kart Club, because it just provides that aura and ability to race and have a good time but still be respectful and know that your kart is probably going to be fine by the end of it.
Well, I remember Steve Brown actually talking with David Sullivan at the paddock walk at round 5, and actually Steve had picked up a slight arm injury, I think left arm injury, so he was actually walking with David on the paddock walk, so it was good to have Super GT on an Alpha Live paddock walk, so that was pretty cool. Minute and a half still remaining on the clock. Lucas Ellingham looking very comfortable, even though he's actually managed the gap really, really well. Sebastian Murry has got to start reeling Ellingham in a little bit now, because time is fast ticking away. we'll have this and probably another 2, maybe 3 laps of racing in addition still to go, because, I mean, the pace they're setting, you know, just under 44.78 was the last lap for Lucas Ellingham. Sebastian Murry, 44.82. They're starting to drop Brooks again a little bit. Brooks, Brooks got dropped by about 1/100th of a second, and now he's clawed 1/100th of a second back. Benjamin Southgate now gets a track limit warning. The driver in the number 15, currently in 15th position behind Jake Yanagisawa, who actually picked up a contact warning from race control a little bit earlier on. As we're into the last 38 or so seconds, Ellingham just looks to be in really good control, doesn't he?
Yeah, last time around, Ellingham actually matched the fastest lap of the race at 44.62. So both Ellingham and Murray, fastest laps of a 44.62. So both very close on pace. But Ellingham just being able to keep that gap as it stands. Looks like we're going to have 2 more laps of the Whilton Mill circuit ahead of us.
Yep, as we just wait for the timing to come through, and it's still exactly half a second between the top 2. Brooks has dropped away, and that has been by nearly 0.3 of a second. Gap now between Murray and Brooks extends to 1.2 as we go into the penultimate lap of the race. Lap 14 out of 15 as the timer hits 0 here at Whilton Mill for the X30 Senior Final. Hugo Gilbert, in the meantime, has actually got past Benjamin Southgate for 15th position. As Ellingham and Murray now, Sebastian Murry now picks up a track limit warning on the penultimate lap of the race. Whoops. Don't want to be doing too many of them in the final lap of the race as they come through to start the last lap. And the gap is now down to just under 4.5 of a second.
Yeah, I just saw that. The 91 as well going wide at the final corner, really pushing on this final couple of laps. Took about 600ths out of Ellingham on the last time around. But even continuing that probably isn't going to be enough to close in on Ellingham. Gives a little cheeky check over the shoulder just to show how far he is. Does it again down this back stretch through sector 2 of the circuit. Knows he's got a nice little buffer here and should be all okay as long as he just continues as he does. Another little check just to make sure. Into the boot section he goes. Completely relaxed is Lucas. Knows he's got this one on the back. Little shrug of the shoulders as he comes down the last corner, and he is going to come across the line, hand in the air. Takes the win, does Lucas Ellingham, in the X30 Senior Final here at round 6 of the Fast R Whilton Mill Kart Club. Then it was Sebastian Murry there who got second. Christian Brooks just behind them in third. Then the big battle behind was won by Alex Johnston. Then it was Vishal Patel behind in 5th. Jordan Brown in 6th. Remy Gilbert 7th. Paul Simard in 8th. Archie Forber 9th, and it was Jensen Buckingham rounding out the top 10. Then Kean Gohill, Luke Taylor, Harry Torpy, Jake Yanagisawa, then Benjamin Southgate, Hugo Gilbert, Mackenzie Stevens, Dylan Gratz, Tom Ryan, and then Martin Algo rounded out the top 20, and all of your field for that X30 Senior Final.
All making the checkered flag as they make their way down towards pit lane to cool everything down and then get their front bumpers checked and then go through the usual rigmarole of scrutineering. So there we are, Lucas Ellingham now getting a few high fives from a couple of the people on the sidelines.